Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I thought I'd do a really uplifting kind of reading because I haven't really done this in a while and no one's requested this, so I thought, why not? So we're here to find out, what do people secretly love about you but just don't tell you, okay? I have 7 piles. I love doing 7 piles because it's more variety, it's more accurate because each pile is going to be extremely different. I feel like when I do, even though some of you may prefer my three piles, I feel like when I do 7, it gives more of an accuracy because it's very different. It's more variety. But when it's 3, it's like, it's almost like suggesting, okay, people can only be boxed into those 3 and then there's not going to be much difference. And then too many messages get relayed and then it gets confusing, etc. Okay. Long story short, 7 piles. We have pile 1, which is upbeat. May your inner child come out to play. Pile 2, conserve. May you find the balance. Pile 3, flourish. May you thrive and blossom. Pile 4, certain. May you be sure of your ground. Pile 5, embrace. May you accept what comes. Pile 6, change. May you turn the blessing of leaves. Pile 7, sensational. May your sensitivity be your strength. Okay, so I've got the roses on display here because they're so beautiful and they're my favorite flower. Okay, I'm obsessed with roses regardless of the color, whether it's pink, red, but I'm just feeling a bit of red today, so yeah, they just have to be in the video. Also, shout out to my friend Jack. I'm always going to keep shouting him out because he's such an amazing YouTuber. He's more psychology based, but it's really good for self-development, especially if you're one of those people who there's certain parts of yourself that you want to work on. I highly recommend his channel. He just recently uploaded one. I'm going to share it as a post. Please support him the way you guys support me. You guys support me in everything I do, not just this channel, but even my music channel. And I'm really grateful for you guys. Where would I be without you? Okay, so give his channel some love, and yeah, I'm gonna start. So let me move this all out the way. I don't edit my videos anymore. Maybe I will in the future, you know, if I decide to make this a full-time thing, maybe I'll put more effort. Okay, all right, so 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Pile 1. What do people love about you secretly but won't tell you? Okay, we have upbeat. May your inner child come out to play. Okay, we have 13, clear the fog, and 1 is a number of beginnings and new portals, and 3 is a number of support. Add them together, get 4, which is stability. Okay, we have the rooster and the sunflower, communication, Gemini energy and Virgo energy, just Mercury energy overall. We have the Tower card, which is Scorpio energy. We have the Page of Cups, which is water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And then we have I miss you and job and finances. Okay. So what do people secretly love about you but just won't tell you? People love the fact that you awaken something in them. You allow people to feel free. You allow people to feel like they could be silly, they could be laughy, especially people who are not really open usually. Like, you allow these people to just be their quirky selves. I'm also getting you provide a sense of clarity for others because we do have clear the fog. So it's like, in a way, you make things a lot more clearer for other people. Like, if someone is going through word scrabble or someone has a lot on their mind and they don't really know how to articulate it, they don't know who to turn to, what to say, etc., they usually come to you for sound advice or for clarity or in order to understand their emotions. I'll be honest with you guys, with me for a long time, not majority of my life, but like a huge part of my adolescence into my adulthood life, I could not identify my own emotions. Sometimes I had no idea what I was feeling. Like, if I felt sad, my brain wouldn't process it as sadness. I'd be like, why don't I want to do this thing that usually makes me happy? Why don't I want to do that? I have the energy to, but why don't I want to do that? Or why do I feel an urge to cry? I don't know why I want to cry. Like, with me, I went through a stage in my life where I couldn't even identify how I was feeling, and it was very weird. Okay, I didn't feel human. But then I always had a friend of mine that was like, oh, well, you're feeling this way because of this. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So people like the fact that you bring them all together. You provide a good sense of support and you give people a new perspective on how to move about their life. You provide people with clarity and stability, and you're very non-judgmental, Pile 1. You make everyone feel like they have a safe haven with you, and you put things into a better perspective. It's almost like you guys have leadership qualities where you're a teacher, you guide people, and it makes people feel like, okay, I understand where you're coming from now this makes sense. It's almost like you unintentionally or intentionally help people put their life together, okay? With the communication, people really like the fact that you're really good at communication. Either you get back to people in a timely manner, or the way you communicate is with a lot of tact. I heard poised. You communicate with people in a way that's so respectful, so well-mannered, in a way that allows them to feel heard and seen. And you give your undivided attention when you do. You also, people know where they stand with you. People like that about you. It's like you don't mince your words. You don't give people the wrong impression. They know exactly where they stand with you. It could even be the way you talk. Some of you guys have a really beautiful accent, okay? But regardless, what I'm getting here is people like the fact that you're able to get through to them. There's something very impactful about your words that allows people to feel uplifted, okay? Again, with the upbeat, people like the fact that even not only you allow them to be their funny, cute, quirky, authentic self, people like the fact that you have that in yourself. Like, you may be the manager of a company, or you could be like me, a teacher, or you could be a lawyer, you could be like my friend Jack, a therapist, but it's like, even though you may have a serious type of job, it's like you also allow yourself to be silly, to be fun, to let loose, you know, like you're upbeat, you're in touch with your inner child. It's like, just because I work this 9 to 5, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to have a life. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have fun. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have a personality. Like, you're really fun, and you allow people to want to be the same way. You don't take everything seriously. We have the Tower card and the Page of Cups. So people like the fact that your energy alone, they can get high on it. And I say that because I Miss You is here. So it's kind of like, people really miss your energy. Whenever you're away, they always want to come back. But the Tower card is all about unexpected changes. So you can go from talking to someone and being close to someone, and then out of nowhere, when your life has changed, like maybe you drop off the face of the earth, it makes people miss you. It makes people recognize how much your energy meant to them when they're not around you. But people also like how genuine you are with the Page of Cups. You can be very expressive and very emotive with how you feel for others. And it makes people feel like they know where they stand, even though you do go through your own changes. People like the fact that you're always willing to embrace the change. Like, you don't fight change. You don't look at it as, okay, if I'm not talking that much, or if someone's not talking that much to you, you don't take it personally. You're like, oh, I get it. We all have a life. And vice versa. When you're not talking as much, people understand it, but they just miss your energy. People like the fact that you have really good work ethic as well with the jobs and finances. You're not afraid to build and rebuild anything that you have your mind set on, career-based. But people also like the fact that you always have things in order. You always come across as stable. Even if you're not, you come across that way. When people go through big changes, you're always saying the right words to them. You always know the right things to say to soothe them, to be there for them. And they love this. And this is why people really miss your energy. People feel like you are a guiding light. If you're a woman, you give mother vibes. If you're a father, you get, if you're a man, you give father vibes. Like, there's something about you that's very genuine. I'm also hearing playful. You're very playful with people that you care about. So it's kind of like, when things change, you don't allow these circumstances to make you cold. You're very adaptable. I heard jovial, okay? You're just very fun, okay? And people really like that about you. And it makes people really miss your energy, especially in being drawn to the sunflower in this card. Like, you're just happy-go-lucky. And it makes people want to be around your energy, because it's like you energize other people, but you also may have high vibration. And when you have a high vibration, you attract everything. And even people who may be broken, if they're willing to be fixed, and they're looking for some sort of development in themselves, they will flock to you, Power One, because you're very understanding and you don't judge. You're a very non-judgmental kind of person, and people really love this about you. They want to tell you this, but I feel like the reason why people may hold back from telling you this is because they don't want to come across as too full on. They don't want to come across as too clingy. They don't want to come across like they don't know what they're doing with their life and you're their saving grace. They don't want to give you that responsibility to fix them, but they're very grateful to have you, okay? And even people who are not in your life anymore, they really do miss that, okay? But that's what I'm getting for pile number 1. I'm going to move on to pile number 2. Okay, so pile number 2. 9 minutes and 48 seconds, pile number 2. You guys chose Conserve. May you find the balance. Okay. yeah, whenever I see that card, Conserve, I just think of introverted people. We have number 11, Talk to God. And 11 is a master number. It's really good for manifesting, but it can round back to 2, which is all about partnership and alignment. But then 1 itself is all about new beginnings and new portals. So yeah, talk to God. You guys could have a really good relationship with God if you believe in God, or you just come across as someone who, whenever there is an issue, you seek counsel either through prayer or through someone or a higher power. Okay, we have the porcupine and the enemy, which is boundaries. Yeah, it is giving introverted vibes, I'm not gonna lie. We have fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius with the Knight of Wands. And then we have earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn with the 3 of Pentacles. And then we have sacral chakra, and then we have jealousy. You know, a fun fact, when I was shuffling these cards, jealousy came out reversed, but I put it upright because it really doesn't matter in this particular context only, whether it's upright or not, because I'm not getting the vibe that people see you as a jealous person, okay? What people really love about you, pal, too, is the fact that you know how to be selective with your time and attention, okay? Especially with these boundaries. Like, people like the fact that you honor and value your boundaries. You don't care what people say. If my best friend Sue is watching this, hi girl, because I feel like this suits her personality, 1122 as well. This reminds me so much of my best friend, I can't lie. Anyways, back to the reading. You guys have a lot of respect for yourselves. You're very selective with your time and energy. You don't just give it to just anyone and everyone. You are very, I'm hearing a tough nut to crack. It takes you a while to open up to people. And when you do, the people who were patient enough to stay really get the full version of you. But you have boundaries for everyone. I'm getting, okay, the world doesn't really favor introvert people, so this may annoy people. Like, this may annoy other people where they want to be closer to you, but they may feel like you have a guard up. But really, it's like you don't really have that much of a guard up. It's just, if someone's willing to get to know you, it takes time, right? Most of our parents told us don't talk to strangers, right? So it takes time to trust someone, to be open with someone, to be comfortable with someone. And I don't think that's a choice of yours. Like, that's just how you are. I remember having an ex-boss, and he hated the fact that I was so quiet. He hated the fact that I couldn't be very comfortable around him. He hated the fact that I didn't share much about my personal life with him. And it wasn't something I had against them and him at my workplace. I'm just very introverted, and I feel like if someone generally wants to take the time to get to know me, like, I'm not one to then be like, hi, let me tell you about my life, even though I don't know you. Like, I'm the type of person where I'm like, okay, well, if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. But if I don't really have an urge to share, then I won't. If I do have an urge to share, I don't mind, but I just didn't have an urge. But yeah, I also feel like if I'm shy with people, then I'm not going to want to open up. So you guys give that same vibe. But the reason why people like this about you is because deep down they wish they had this trait. Sometimes some people may overshare, and it makes them feel like, oh, why did I say that? Why did I didn't need to overshare. And now I'm coming across as someone who's too open. But people respect this about you because they like the fact that you honor yourself. You feel like, well, I only want to share parts of myself with people who've earned that right to be close to me, or people who I've trusted. And you make people want to be more like that. People like the fact that you have unwavering faith in yourself. Again, sometimes you may not. Sometimes you may feel like, oh, I'm losing hope. I don't have hope in myself. But regardless, it's like you choose to believe that, you know what? Something's happening to me. I don't know why it's happening to me. It must be for a greater purpose, but I don't like it. Is there a way I can get out of this? Like, you're still hopeful in situations, okay? Even if it may not seem that way at times, you can be very hopeful. People like the fact that you conserve your energy. Like, you're not someone who's overly talkative, and that's probably why people trust you, because it makes them feel like if they had a secret to tell you, you're going to keep it, because it's like, who would you talk to? Like, you're very selective anyway. People feel that you are a vault. So if you want to keep something a secret, you're going to keep it a secret. Like, people see you as very trustworthy. People like the fact that you're also very busy. Like, you're someone who's very good at getting things done, and you're very good at adapting to new people. Even if you're shy or awkward, or you don't really say much to people, people can tell that you're still a good person, and you keep yourself very active and busy. You like to be of service to others, especially in the workplace. And you guys chose path number 2, and 2 is usually a number of like service, especially if you're a life path number 2. Like that's like, I'm at your service. You want to help people. People like the fact that you're always willing to help other people. You're always willing to go above and beyond to make sure that whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever the job is, it has the best outcome. Look at me thinking about money. It always has the best outcome, okay? People also like the fact that you are very creative. And the funny thing is, what I'm getting with pile number 2, you guys may not even showcase your creative side much anymore, but people may have got a side to you or got a little bit of a whiff of you that you are very innovative and you're a very creative person. Maybe it's based on how you dress. Maybe it's based on what you write. Maybe it's based on what you paint. Maybe it's based on what you read or what you watch, what you consume, what you listen to. There's something about you that makes people feel like, yeah, that person's really creative. That person is, I like the way their mind works. You know, that's what I'm getting. But I'm getting some of you don't showcase it, okay? Also, I'm being drawn to look at this jealousy card and the 3 of Pentacles. People like the fact that you have really great work ethic, but I'm not just getting that in the workplace. I'm also getting, okay, this may seem a bit far-fetched, but this is just what I'm getting, so just roll with it. I'm getting some people feel jealous of you, and you may wonder why. Like, people get very jealous of you because they can't figure you out. You have energy that's hard to read, and it makes people feel uncomfortable, but it also gives you that mysterious kind of aura that's very siren-like. It makes people drawn to you. And you also don't stoop to people's level. If someone is being rude to you, I'm getting that the way you handle it is you handle it with class. And people wish that they were as refined and classy as you. And to be honest with you, like, it's okay to be as you are, you know, but I feel like with you, you have a way of making people feel stupid because of how you handle them. Like, you come across as so mature, especially if you're younger, you come across as really mature, and it makes people feel dumb for even wanting to start a fight with you or even coming at you in the first place. You may suffer a lot of attacks, pile 2. And I don't mean physically, but I just mean like, you may come across a lot of people who just instantly just don't like you. And you may wonder, is there something wrong with me? Why don't people like me? But it's jealousy. Especially with this 3 of Pentacles. Like, if you analyze this card, it's 2 people looking up at one person. These 2 people are admiring this one person. They're admiring them for their work ethic. They're admiring them. This person's even on a platform. They are a step above them in the workplace. In the workplace. I said in the workplace. In the workplace. So this is telling me that people, even in your workplace, or whether you've been a student before in your life, whatever it may be, people look up to you and they see you as more refined and more intelligent and more talented and have better work skills and just more mature overall. Even if you're a quiet person, they feel like you work better, and it makes them feel insecure because they feel like they don't have that work ethic. They feel like they are all about drama. You trigger people. I feel like you guys trigger the people who are at war with themselves and like to take it out on other people. Like, I'm getting like, you guys are so unproblematic. Like, you don't start problems with anybody. You just kind of keep to yourself. And this triggers people. They don't like the fact that they can't read you. They don't like the fact that you don't bring drama. And when people are rude to you and try and comfort you, you may not be rude to them back. You may just simply walk away from them, or you may feel like, okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Yeah. And you don't allow people to, like, you don't give in to people's toxicity. And it makes them feel like, oh, you think you're better than me? You think you're better than me, pal, too? Like you make people feel that way. And deep down, it's because they're embarrassed that they've reacted in such a toxic way, especially towards you, who's probably done nothing to them. And it makes them feel like you're holding up a mirror. I feel like I really like how you deal with this, pal, too. Like, I feel like you deal with people with so much class that you make them regret even having a problem with you. You just get on with your work. Like, if you go to work, you're not there to make friends. You're just there to make money, and you keep yourself active. You're somebody who you don't want to sit down and be lazy at work. If you have something to offer, you want to be of service. And once you finish that, you're ready to go home. People feel annoyed that I'm getting a Mean Girls reference. Like, you can't sit with us. And like, this is a meme because I'm getting you're the type of person to be like, I don't want to. It's like you don't really care. Like you're comfortable in your introversion. You're comfortable being alone. You're comfortable not mixing and meshing. And I'm getting also, pal, too, people feel insecure with you because they feel like you're not one to gossip. Like you may be the type of person, especially if you're a woman, you may feel like I don't want to put anyone down, so you don't gossip about people. And anytime someone does bring gossip to you, it ends there. You don't entertain it. And you're not coming from a place of, sorry guys, I don't want to gossip. It's more like someone will bring gossip to you and you just acknowledge it. Like, oh, that's interesting. And then you change the subject and you talk about something else that is non-gossip related. And people like that, but it also makes them feel jealous. They're like, oh, I wish I was mature as pal too. I wish I didn't want to gossip. Because let's be real. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's not that like I start gossip, but when gossip is given to me, I'm like, ooh, tell me the tea, And that, I don't know if that's a Gemini thing. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do partake in it. Like if someone brings tea to me, I'm gonna listen. I'm like, ooh, is that what really happened? What else happened? I listen to it. I don't always give into it, but I do listen to it, and that's a form of entertaining it. If I'm gonna be completely honest, but with you, pal, too, you guys don't give off that vibe. You give off that vibe, but you just listen, and you're like, okay, and then you change the subject, okay? And I'm also getting that if you're a woman especially, but this could apply for both genders, like you're someone who is a girl's girl or a guy's guy. Like you like to support other people. Like if someone is talking smack about someone else, you're just like, that's mean. Like, and this is reminding me so much of my best friend. Like she refuses to even say the UGLY word about anyone. She goes, nobody is UGLY. She's such a sweetheart to the point where she triggers people that are very into putting people down. Like she triggers very insecure people just by existing, because she's a very sweet person herself. And I feel like a lot of insecure people, not all, because we all can be insecure in our own way, but there's some people who are insecure and they feel the need to put other people down to make themselves feel good. She's the type of girl that triggers people like that, by just not putting anyone down, by just not doing that, And you can be insecure without having to put people down. There are people who are like that, But she's the type of person where she's like, I'm not partaking in that. And I love that. So you have high boundaries. And this is what makes people feel like, oh, so you think you're better than me, And it makes people feel jealous because deep down they feel guilty and they wish they were a bit like you, pal, too. But yeah, how to conserve your energy. You guys don't mince your words, and you're very careful of what you say, and you only speak when you have something of substance to say, and if you don't, you don't speak. And people like this selectiveness about you. They respect it. But yeah, that's all I'm getting. I'm going to move on to pile 3. Okay, so 2250, pile 3, you guys chose Flourish. May you thrive and blossom. Ooh. We have 7, reclaim your art. 7 is a number of learning. Okay. We have the Finch and the Peach, romance. Okay. We have the Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And then that's air sign energy. And then we have the fire sign energy with the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius with the Ace of Wands. And then we have karmic. And then we have I love you. Ooh. Oh my God. Okay. Pile 3. People are in love with you. People are I'm not even getting, I like pile 3. People are in love with you. People, plural. Not just one person. People. Okay, you have people who are in love with you. Okay, we have I love you. You are such a lovable person. And that's not to say that all the other piles are not lovable, but it's very much coming through the most with this pile, if I'm going to be completely honest. People really, 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 I'm joking. People love you. People love you a lot. I'm not getting it's just because of how you look or you come across in a certain way that's very attractive. It's not really so much about the aesthetics of what you look like. It's more to do with who you are. People like the fact that you're always blossoming and you're always flourishing in everything you do. When you put your mind to something, it grows. It's like you guys have the Midas touch. You could have a really lucky placement in your Jupiter, but for some reason, whenever you plant the seeds for something, it flourishes because you actually have the intention for it to grow. People believe in your mind. People believe in something that you want to do. because you put your mind to it. You're one of those people who are, I don't just talk about it, I be about it. Okay? So when you make plans, you follow it through. And people really love and respect that about you. People also love the fact that you're very talented. We reclaim the art. You guys are very good at learning new skills, but you're also good at mastering skills. So even if you feel like you're a rookie in something you're starting, you always get progressively better because you're always willing to learn and evolve and grow. And people love the fact that you're very multi-talented. Okay, I just saw an orb and I don't know why I saw that. That was very creepy. This will never not be creepy no matter how many years I've seen these things. Okay, but maybe that's a confirmation from spirit. Like, you guys are very smart, always ready to learn new skills. You guys could have ADHD, some of you at least, but this is giving Gemini energy, Aries energy. It doesn't have to be those signs, but multiple sign energy, Piscean energy, Virgo energy. Like, you guys are very smart and you're always willing to invest in yourselves and start something new. Very creative, but very romantic. Okay, yeah, that's Piscean energy, that's water energy, even Cancer energy. People really like the fact that they can learn so much from you. So it's not that you're only someone who is a quick learner. People also feel like they can learn from you, especially with the karmic, because karmic is basically like karma, and karma is not necessarily a punishment, but karma is a lesson and what you can take from certain experiences and learn from, especially with this Queen of Swords energy. Okay, maybe I can relate to this. I wrote a song called Queen of Swords, and that's to represent all my air sign women. Okay, you guys give this teacher vibe where you don't only teach other people and people like to learn from you, but you also learn from other people. You're also very forward, and you're also very honest too. People really like that you're very I don't know why I heard emotional, because I wasn't trying to say that, but I heard emotional. So maybe you guys are emotional, or you're just very expressive, okay, and it comes off as emotional. But with this Ace of Wands, people really like this burst of energy you have. You always have the zest and the energy to do things, and people don't know how, because it's just like, do you not get tired, Pile 3? Do you not sleep? And it's like, you just genuinely enjoy life. Like, you bring life to people. I'm hearing that song, Bring Me Back to Life. Like, you energize people, you resuscitate people, okay? And you're very romantic. Like, there's something about you that maybe you romance life, or you're just romantic, or you're just very smooth with your words, but you flourish. Also, some of you could have gone through a glow up. Maybe you grew up feeling like you were the ugly duckling, but now you're thriving, you're looking better, you're growing, you're evolving, and people really love that for you, because I'm getting like, it's like you don't have this mentality of things were handed to you, or if you see someone else doing well, like, you don't have this mentality of, oh, you know, that was given to them, or what do they know, or if you're not doing something well in your life, you're like, oh, you don't make excuses for yourself, like, oh, well, I didn't come from this sort of background, so it's like, you just like, you know what, I have the tools, God's given me the tools, let me use them, let me learn, let me find out, you know? And it's like, let me meet a guy who meets a guy, let me network, let me do this, let me do that. Like, you always feel like there's always going to be a helping hand or an opportunity as long as your eyes are open to them. You find lessons in everything, you find opportunities in everything, and people just love this vibe. You march to the beat of your own drum, and that's what people really love about you, okay? I feel like there's also, because this is a reclaim your art, this is giving the vibe where you could have been good at more things as a child and then temporarily kind of gave them up, and now you're revisiting back to it. Like, you revisit back to your inner child, back to your old self, and people really love that about you. It's like, you never, I feel like you guys, even if, again, I'm not calling you old, but maybe you could be interested in things where people think, okay, you're a bit too old for that, or you used to do that as a kid, like, why are you interested in it now? Or, but you don't allow age or time to restrict you. If you want to do something, you're going to do it, okay? But that's what's coming through. People really love that about you. I'm going to move on to pile 4, or else this reading is going to be too long. Okay, 28:45, pile 4, you guys show certain. May you be sure of your ground. Oh, standing on business. Okay, I was saying 10 toes down, standing on my pretty feet. And that's one of my songs, okay? We have number 2, start anew. 2 is the number of alignment and partnerships. Okay, we have the salamander and the black pepper, which is inspiration. Why did I say it like that? Inspiration. We have air sign energy with the King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Water sign energy with the 6 of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and then we have the solar plexus and the heart chakra. Wow, pile 4. This is cute. Just by these cards alone, I love you. Now I want to be your friend. Okay, so people really like the fact that you give off this vibe that's very like soulmate-esque and very nostalgic. There's something about you, maybe you guys have timeless beauty, whether you're a man or a woman, like you have timeless beauty. Like there's something about you that will always be beautiful no matter what time period you're in. Maybe it's the things you wear or how you look or what you're interested in. There's something about you that's very nostalgic. It takes people back to a time period, okay? It's kind of like, I see some women wear butterfly clips and I wear butterfly clips. But what inspired me to wear butterfly clips is when I was flicking through my old baby photos, I was like, wow, like I really love that era. I love the 90s, even though I didn't really grow that much in them. It was more like 2000s, but I was born in the 90s, 1998, but I look back on it and I'm like, wow, like I love the fashion there. So then I just started wearing them. So there's something about you that's very nostalgic. It doesn't have to be aesthetics, but you make people feel like, oh, this reminds me of back in the day, you know? Maybe you guys are very, I was gonna say social, but I heard homely. Like there's something about you that, you know, back in the 90s or back in the day, people used to actually socialize. People actually used to talk to each other. They used to go to the park to have fun. They didn't have to be on social media 24/7. They didn't derive fun out of, you know, doing something technology based. Like you actually have a conversation and you sit down with others. You guys could be, this reminds me of my friend Jack. Hi Jack, if you're watching this, because like I feel like with people up north, especially in the UK, they're more social than the people in the south, like London, because it's like I don't know, they're more friendlier. There's something about their energy that's like, hi, I actually want to have a conversation with you. How are you? You know? But here in London, it's kind of like everyone has their own like thing going on and like everyone's too busy to even stop and say hi. Like I no joke. I don't know if it's because I'm a Gen Z or if it's because I'm a Londoner, but if someone smiles at me outside and says hi to me, I low-key get anxious. I'm like, do they know me from somewhere? Like, who do they know? Is this person dangerous? Like, and I'm just thinking, why would I react that way? Like, I should take that as normal. Like, someone wants to say hi and they want to smile at me, but I always take it as like, do they know someone who knows someone? I always get paranoid instead, you know, because we're not as social as we used to be, you know, but there's something about you that's very, very sweet and kind and down to earth. People feel like you are somebody who is very genuine and they love that. People also see you as very smart and very fair and very balanced, and people love that about you, that whenever, you're also good at mediating situations, especially relationship wise. You're always giving great advice. You're always making sure things are calm, cool, and collected, and people really like the fact that you keep a fair demeanor. Also, people like the fact that you're not biased. Like you call situations as they are, and you don't feel an urge to be like, okay, because this person is my friend, I'm going to overlook this. Like you hold people accountable. You're a loyal person, you're very kind, but you're not afraid to hold people accountable. And people love that about you because you're very just. People would actually consider you to be a good judge if you ever wanted to go in that direction in life, because you are balanced and you are fair. But people really miss your energy, powerful, whether you believe it or not. You're someone who, you know how to reach out to people, you know how to initiate, you know how to arrange meetups. Like people really value that. Even if you may feel like people don't, they really do, because you get people outside of the house, okay? But with the solar plexus and heart chakra, people like the fact that you come across as very confident. Even if you feel like you're not confident, you come across that way. People feel like, wow, Powerful is really confident. Powerful really loves themselves, and it inspires them to want to be the same. I'm also getting you do things that make you happy, even if they're not always ideal, or even if they're not always expected of you. Like say, for example, if it makes you happy to have like a nice tiramisu dessert by yourself at night, not that I do that, like something random like that, or a glass of wine or whatever you're interested in, because tiramisu has a bit of wine in it, isn't it? It's like you'll eat it and you won't really care like about the after effect, as in like, oh no, I was on a diet. You're not too hard on yourself. You're like, well, it was needed, so I'm gonna do it. And people really love that. They wish that they can live their life with more purpose like that, in terms of like doing things that make them happy. But people just like the fact that you have a healthy amount of self-esteem. You guys could have really high standards for who you surround yourself with and who you want to be. I feel like I'm getting an energy that you guys are more hard on yourselves than you are on other people, okay? And I know that sounds so contradictory to what I've just said, as in, oh, you do what you want and you're not too hard on yourself. But what I'm getting is you guys are you have a duality to you, as in when it comes to things that you want to achieve, you're very hard on yourself. But when it comes to the simple pleasures, as in, well, if I want to do this, screw it, let's just do this. Like say, for example, I want to go to that concert ticket, I should save, but I don't know when the next time this person's going to come to this country, so I might as well buy a ticket. Why not? Like, you guys are kind of like that. But when it comes to like projects or things that you want to thrive in your career, like, you're hard on yourself, I'm getting. And you're not as hard on other people, but you're just hard on yourself, okay? But people like the fact that you have such a big heart. You're very sweet. You're very kind. You hold space for other people. And maybe that's what makes people feel like you are a soulmate and they miss you. You have nostalgic energy. It's almost like you speak to people's inner child. You guys could be good at healing other people as well, like healing people, making people feel like they can come to you for anything. You're a good listener, Pile 4. I was about to call you guys Pile 6. Maybe there are messages in Pile 6 for you, but you allow people to open up. You allow people to feel like they're in a non-judgmental space so that they do open up to you. And it can be a lot sometimes, especially if you feel like, oh my God, this is happening too often. But people really do value you. They really love your big heart. And you could have gone through a lot of difficult things in life, but it didn't taint you into being like the people who hurt you. It still makes you lovable. It still makes you kind, and you alchemize your pain. Okay. People see you as an inspiration. Okay. Whether you believe that or not, people are genuinely inspired by you. And you may feel like that's not the case, but really people do. And that's probably why this is entitled What People Secretly Love About You But Won't Tell You. They're not telling you, and maybe that's why you don't believe it. But you inspire a lot of people to be their best selves. And people really, really appreciate that about you. Okay. We have number 2, start anew. So people like the fact that you're not afraid to start all over again. Even if it takes you time, you're gonna go ahead and do it. It's almost like moving within alignment. It's like if you feel like something is not right for you, you're not afraid to start again. Or you're not afraid to take a break and start again. This is something that I also would love about you, because I don't know you guys, but if I was someone else, I would love this trait about you as well, because I am only just learning how to master that trait. Like when it comes to work, like when I first started teaching, oh my God, I never wanted to take days off. If I was sick, I'm like, let me firm it and let me just bottle down some medication and go to work. I'm fine. Or if I needed a mental health break, I'm like, no, let me just be miserable because I still want money. Like I was so money obsessed at some point where I'm like, I don't want to take any days off, even if it's detrimental for my physical and mental health. But the thing about you, Powerful, is you're willing to take days off for yourself. You're willing to tell yourself, this is too much. I can always resume when I get better. I can always resume and get back to where I was. And that's what I like about you guys, because I wish I had that trait. But this is a trait you guys have. And I feel like you're someone who you're not afraid to learn and unlearn things in order for you to better develop yourself. You're very self-aware, okay? You're very self-aware of yourself. And that's why people see you as an inspiration, because you're relatable. You don't have this mentality that I know best. I know more than anybody else in this room, and that's it. Like, you're the type of person where you're very smart. People do come to you for counsel. People do value what you have to say. But at the same time, you're like, well, I also relate to the same people I'm advising. I'm going through something similar. So let's start together. Like, you make people feel like they can relate to you. We also have certain, yeah. So you don't really mince your words. You're very direct, and people like the fact that you're direct and you're a very honest person. Like, if you want to say something, you get it off your chest. Like, you're good at holding people accountable, I must say. Like, you know how to hold people to account, okay? But it's also coming from a place of, like, if you want to do something, you're not afraid to tell people, oh, well, do you want to hang out? Do you want to do this? And if you don't, you're not also afraid to tell people, well, I'm just feeling this type of way. I just don't have the energy anymore. Like, you like to let people know where they stand so they're not confused. And that's why people see you as very considerate, and they really love that about you. Unfortunately, not everybody gives you that same energy, okay? Some people may feel like, you know what? I'm going to string you along. Or, you know, because this is reminding me of the conversation I had with my friend Jack. Hi, Jack, if you're watching. About when, you know, people are not as clear and upfront about what they want to do, or how they truly feel about you, or if they want to hang out with you. And we were just thinking, why can't people just be direct? Because yeah, it could even hurt someone's feelings if you're direct, but at least you know where you stand, you know, and you're not holding on to a false expectation because someone's stringing you along, right? So you guys are this type of person where you're very honest with people and you let them know where they stand, and they really appreciate that. And I think that's also where people see you as very confident, because you're not afraid to untouch on uncomfortable conversations that you're going to have with other people. You're not afraid to let people know certain things. And if someone asks you for an opinion, you're not allowed to, I was saying not allowed, you're not afraid to give people the honest truth, but you do it with so much love. You know how to say, you do it with tact. And I think because I accidentally said you're not allowed, maybe they feel like, oh, you know, they wouldn't be allowed to say what they really want to say to people. So they just assume that you'll be like them. But then you surprise them and you realize, no, this is an open space. Like, say what you want to say, because I'm direct as well. If there's a problem, you like to address it. And people really respect this about you and they love it, okay? But you do it with so much love because you have such a big heart, okay? Very heart-centered, very empathic, I'm getting. You really have a knack for understanding people, okay? I'm going to move on to part number 5. Because I don't want this to be too long, because I got somewhere to go. Okay, we have, 44-4. Wow, synchronicity. But this is part 5, though. You guys chose embrace. May you accept what comes. Yeah, water energy. We have 22, love your body. 2 is a number of alignment. But 2 plus 2 equals 4, which it rounds to stability, right? So yeah, you guys are solid as a rock. It's giving water and water and earth energy. We have the badger and the ginkgo, healing wounds. We have the fire sign energy with the 3 of wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Aquarius energy with the star card, and we have I need you, and we have maybe reverse. Okay, so what do people love about you, pal? 5. People love the fact that you are a source of light. You are very, I don't know why I heard extravagant, because that's not what I was going to say. Maybe you guys come across that way, but to you, it's not. Like, for example, I've recently got into this annoying habit where I gemstone everything. And gemstones are not expensive. The cheap ones, you can get one for £1, okay? Or if this is America, $1, 50 cents, if you will. And it's not expensive. So you may look extravagant because of like how you present yourself, but you may not be. You may be like, oh, this cost me only this amount of money, you know? But there's something about you that really stands out. Very innovative, very humanitarian based, very Aquarius-esque, okay? There's something about you that you have a divine purpose to help and serve other people, but you do it in such an innovative way. You do it in a very unique, artistic, amazing kind of way. And I like the fact that there's a bit of vulnerability to you, okay? People like the fact that you're very healing. You have a healing energy. Healing energy on me. When it's 11, I need. Yeah, you guys are very healing, especially since we have the healing wounds and the star card. I can't show too much of it because it's naked. But you guys have this energy where if someone needs like to feel better, they're going to go to you. Not in a way where you need to be used, because that sucks. I mean, surely you'd want people to visit you because they like you, they care about you, they want to just catch up with you. But you have this, like, this is a good and bad thing, because the bad side to this is you may have attracted broken people in the past, and these people may have tried to hurt you instead. And you may have been like, I did not sign up for this. I am not Jesus. I did not sign up to help people who are going to destroy me, you know? But at the same time, the good side of this is that you have such healing energy. You make people feel like they don't want to give up, okay? There's about you that gives a very hopeful energy. It makes people feel like they shouldn't give up on their dream, okay? But we also have maybe reverse. So you're not an indecisive person. Maybe at some point you were, since why it came up, but you make people feel like, okay, I was feeling this way, but now I'm feeling this way. So you have the power and the influence to change people's minds for the better. And it's usually about themselves. I'm just thinking of someone who's putting themselves down and willing to give up on something. For a small percentage of you, a very tiny percent, like maybe 2% of you, someone could be feeling very depressed and suicidal, but your words alone make people feel like they're not going to kill themselves. That's only for a small percentage of you guys, so only take that with, you know, it resonates. But overall, you make people feel like they can basically start all over again. We also have I need you. So people do feel like they need you. And warning, this may make people a little bit codependent on you, and it may be annoying at times because you love to help, you're a humanitarian, but at the same time, you're also a human being and you have your own problems too, you know? It may be a bit uncomfortable for you at times, but you know, like you try and give people the tools to help themselves so that they don't have to always rely on you, because it's unhealthy to always rely on someone. It's also good to then be given the tools as a form of help to then help yourself, okay? But people like the fact that you're able to move forward in your life. Like, even when people hurt you, this could have even happened to you, Pile 5. Someone could have really hurt you, or people in general could have really done a number on you. They could have really done you dirty. You could have really been treated like absolute shit, you know? But instead of turning bitter, what happened? You got better. You're like, you know what? Now I can see red flags from a distance. Now I know who's worthy of my time and who isn't. Now I know what to avoid. And now but one thing, Pile 5, that I'm being guided to tell you is you will never regret being a good person. Like, ever. Like, don't ever feel like, oh, I was so dumb for being nice to that person. You will never regret being a good person. It will come back to you, I promise. Okay? But some people didn't deserve your help, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I'm so sorry. But you're never going to regret being that good person, because that speaks volumes as to who you are. You are a great person. And if someone doesn't appreciate you, tough. That's on them. That speaks more about their character than yours, okay? But you're able to move forward from things. You guys are alchemists, okay? You heal other people, but you heal yourself. I feel like you guys also heal yourself in isolation. So when other people hurt you or you go through depression, it's like you find a way to uplift yourself and work on yourself. And then when you are ready to be social with people, you've already overcome that problem. And people really admire and respect that about you, because it makes people feel like, okay, if Pile 5 can do this, maybe I can also get over this. Because I'm getting Pile 5, you guys have gone through something very catastrophic before, and you were able to overcome it and move forward and heal. So if you're able to do it, you're making people feel like their problems to them start to feel like it's minor and they should get over it the way you've gotten over your big problems. And again, that's not to say one person's problem is bigger than the other, but that's just how other people are interpreting it, okay? We have 22, love your body. This could actually be very literal. Like, people may actually really love your body, okay? Regardless, okay? If you're a man, you may have an amazing body. Even if you don't love your body, other people love it. Even as a woman, you may not love your body, but people love it, okay? But some of you may actually go to the gym and people really love the way that you look. They love your body, okay? But there's something about you being very solid. So people assume that you have high self-esteem. Even if you feel like you don't, you come across that you love yourself. You have high standards for yourself. And people really love that about you. You march to the beat of your own drum. You follow your intuition. And if something doesn't make sense, you're not going to give in to it. And I'm getting more so relationship based. It's kind of like if someone's giving you a bad vibe, you don't wait for them to let you down, for you to get the inkling that maybe they're not interested or maybe they're wasting your time. You're like, you're giving me the vibe that you're unreliable and you don't want to take things further with me and you don't have the guts to tell me, so I'm out. You know, and you hold people accountable. It's like you let people know, like, listen, if you want to see me, see me. If you don't, bye. Don't waste my time. Like, you guys don't beg, you know? And it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. It probably still hurts your feelings, but you're able to move forward regardless. You guys have a knack for just embracing. People feel like you've done a lot of healing on yourself. And that, you know, the funny thing is that Aquarius is the cupbearer, but people think Aquarius is a water sign because it even sounds like an aquarium, which is water, right? Or associated with water. But people feel like you are very healing. There's something about the beach coming through. So there's something about maybe salt baths. Maybe you guys, some of you may be in need of one, or maybe you want to take one or have taken one before, but you like to replenish. I don't know how to say this word. Jack keeps telling me, my friend keeps telling me, I just can't, for some reason, it's an easy word. I just can't say it. I don't know why. Repelish. I don't know. Nourish, okay? You like to re-nourish yourself, okay? And whenever people bring BS your way, it really does pee you off. But it's like, you're like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm going to focus on something else and just cleanse myself of that energy and just avoid that person now. Like, you guys embrace what comes. It's like, okay, do you want to be my friend or not? Do you want to be my lover or not? No? Okay, cool. I'm moving forward. Like, you guys are someone who, you've been hurt for so like you've been hurt so many times to the point where you're getting used to now dropping people who don't really value your time and your efforts and your energy now. And people see that, and it's making people realize that they do need you. It's making people feel like, no, wait, maybe I made a mistake, and then by that time you don't even care, you know? But you're someone who you're good at bouncing back. Very like alchemist energy, very like strong, wounded warrior, but you've developed a love for yourself. You're like, you know what, I got me, and that's all what matters, okay? But it's not that you don't like helping people, you do, but sometimes it would be nice if someone was to help you, you know. Sometimes you may feel that way, but people really do feel like you're some source of light, some source of guidance for them, and they really like how you honor yourself, okay? But that's all I'm getting. Some of you could be influenced as well, like you have big influence. I'm only being called to say that because of the star, and I'm thinking of literally a star. But yeah, I'm going to move on to pile number 6. Pile number 6, 5022, you guys chose change. May you bless the turning of leaves. Okay, we have 57, call your spirit home. 5 is a number of change. 7 is a number of learning. Add them together, you get 12, which rounds to 3, which is all about support. Okay, so a lot of change and a lot of learning, but it's come with a lot of support. Okay, we have the hawk and the thistle, graceful persistence. We also have 6 of swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We also have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. And then we have the crown chakra and the third eye chakra, okay? What do people love about you? You guys are some people that come off as very spiritual, very enlightened. I'm really saying that because of the third eye. So you guys are very intuitive. Like whenever you get a bad vibe about something, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you're always on point. And people find that so creepy, but they trust in it. They believe in it. Because the thing about you is you have a great connection to your higher self, because we do have the crown chakra. You guys may even creep people out by the fact that you get dreams about things that happen in real life. It's like you dream about something and then it manifests in real life and you're like, I saw that coming. It's giving that's a raven. And people really trust in you, okay? We have the Hierophant. Okay, so people really do feel like they believe in you. Some of you could be tarot readers like me. And if you are, this is your pile, or at least one of your piles if you pick more than one pile. Some of you are tarot readers, okay? And even if you're not, some of you guys could just be very intuitive as well. And maybe you should start tarot reading. You know, but people really like the fact that you march to the beat of your own drum. If you feel called to do something, you trust your gut. People really admire your unwavering faith about who you are and what you believe in. Some of you could follow a religion. You don't have to, but some of you in this pile may follow a religion, and you have this unwavering faith in God, and you believe in God so much, and it's always got you where you needed to be. So that's why you can attest to it. I believe that everybody has a different path, and what works for you, what works for you. It doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone. Like there's some people who follow religion and it's always worked for them, and everything about their life just confirms the existence of God. And then there are people who don't follow religion, but that also works for them, etc. You know, but regardless, I feel like people really admire the fact that you have so much trust and faith in yourself, and you don't allow anyone to persuade you. You try your best to be open-minded to other people, but usually your intuition never lets you down. And when you ignore your intuition, you pay the price, okay? We have call your spirit home. Yeah, you guys could be very witchy, ancestrally, whatever it may be. I'm just like the type of people that are very into spirituality. For some of you, could be into the occult, but we do have call your spirit home. And that makes me think of ancestors. That makes me think of like you getting in touch with your angels, your spirit team, your ancestors, and trying to seek wisdom and be like, what should I do about this? Or divination. It makes me think of that, okay? But you've got through so many changes in your life, and you've learned from all these changes. And that's probably why we have change. But through those changes and what you've learned, you've been able to accumulate support. You feel like your spirit team or your angels, your ancestors, or God, whatever you believe in, a higher power, has never really let you down, has only provided you with new perspectives. You've learned and unlearned so many things over the years. So that's why you have so much faith and trust in yourself and God and your spirit team, right? And people like the fact that you keep it pushing. With the Six of Swords, you keep moving forward. You don't allow yourself to stay stagnant. If you're in a certain particular job or environment or a relationship and it's not working out for you, you're like, okay, well, this is the end and this sucks. My feelings are hurt. I'm going to cry about it. But I trust that this is being done for a divine purpose. I trust that this is for a reason. And just because us human beings don't know the reason for everything, it doesn't mean there isn't a reason. And that's the arrogance that we have as human beings. We feel like if we don't have the answer to something, then it must not be real, or there must be no answer for it. But I feel like, me personally, in my own belief, you don't have to agree with me, guys, I feel like there's a reason behind everything. And sometimes we just don't know that reason. And that's okay, you know? But with some people, because they don't know the reason, they just write it off that there is no reason, okay? But I feel like regardless, you have this mentality of, there's a reason why this happened. What did I learn from it? I don't know where I'm headed, but I trust where I'm going. Like, you keep it pushing, you keep it moving, okay? With this graceful persistence, no matter how many times people knock you down, pile 6, you know how to get back up and you keep it pushing. And people love that about you because they wish they had that sort of drive. A lot of people in this pile may have felt depressed at some point. You may have fallen into a deep depression before. And once you got out of it, you're like, okay, I never want to allow myself to get back into this space. So let me try and rewire my brain and see things from a different perspective and trust that it's going to be okay. And again, I hate to make this about myself because I always bring up examples about myself, but that's only in a way to make you guys know that I can relate to you, not to take over the reading. But this reminds me of when I was homeless. I used to live with my mom and my dad as a kid, of course, and my sister, 2-parent household, married, whatever, very dysfunctional. And I didn't like how, I don't want to give too much of my life away, but let's just say it was very dysfunctional. And I don't like things that are not peaceful because I'm a Libra moon and I value justice, I value peace. So when it isn't, I feel a need to escape. So when I was younger, I thought the only way I could escape was being saved by my knight in shining armor. Like, I thought a man was coming to save me. Spoiler alert, that wasn't true. So I thought, let me just get married, let me just fall in love and move out so I don't have to deal with this BS. Spoiler alert, that did not happen. So when I got older, eventually my parents, when I became an adult, they split, okay? And then, long story short, I did temporarily live with just my dad and my sister. It was very catastrophic. It was very just unbearable to live with. I didn't like the environment. It was very hostile, very aggressive, and I just felt too suffocated. So I left, and I actually had a child with me as well. But I couldn't live with his dad for many reasons. So I left. And I left hoping that I would find a place to stay, and I didn't find anywhere to stay. So I had to live with my kid's dad, okay? And it was even worse. It involved a lot of abuse, and I didn't like it. So therefore, I remember watching someone else's tarot reading, and I was doing tarot back then. And someone says, oh, there's a big change happening in your life. You're going to move house. You're going to be fine. You're going to be stable. And I'm like, how? There's nowhere else I can move to. Like, it's either I put up with abuse or I just end up in the streets. How am I going to find somewhere to be? But for some strange reason, I would see 5 everywhere, which I take that as a sign to mean there's going to be change. That may be scary, but it's needed. And I used to see butterflies, and I take that as transformation. So I just trusted God. I'm like, I don't know where you're taking me, and I'm scared, but I'm going to trust in you anyway, just blindly. And yeah, I did go through homelessness. I was on the street with my son, and then eventually I managed to get my own place. And I was so grateful because it started off with me just having a room. I was sharing a whole place with people who have murdered people who have abused women, people who've done all sorts of evil stuff to people. And I was in a room. And I had to share my whole house with them. So I made sure that I went outside and just focused on my university, focused on my master's, and pick up my son from nursery. And then, because I was so grateful to just have a space of my own and not have to worry about anyone else, just me and my child, I think God was happy that I was very grateful, even though the situation was not ideal or safe. And then he was like, fine, have a place of your own. So then I got my own place in a beautiful area, and I felt happy. And I was so grateful to even just have that space. And then God was like, wow, you're really grateful for that. And that isn't even the best place we have for you. Here's another place. And then therefore I was given the beautiful place that I live now. That's just my own. And I feel grateful. And I feel like I trusted the process. Now, if I didn't trust the process, I would have been shitting bricks and I would have just stayed stagnant where I was. I would have just stayed in very abusive and uncomfortable situations out of fear of like, what if I'm going to be homeless for a long time? So yeah, I was homeless, but it wasn't for very long. I overcame it and I got something better. And now the same places where I once lived, or the same people that made my stay very, very horrible, they wish they were in a place where I live right now. You know, this is something that they would consider a dream house of theirs, but that was given to me. So in my way, I see that as karma. You know, I learned from that. And I feel like similarly, you guys have that same unwavering faith where it's like, I don't know where I'm headed. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to try my best to remain positive and trust that the process is going to be in my favor. This also reminds me of one of my other friends, and she goes through a lot, okay? I love this girl to the moon and back, but she goes through so much in her life. But her undying faith in God, whenever something bad happens, she just thinks, let me pray. Let me pray. And this is not me preaching to you guys, by the way. This is not me saying, believe in God. Like, this could equally happen for people who don't believe in God, to be fair. But I believe in God. And basically, she's always saying, oh, you know, like whenever any little good thing happens, she goes, oh, I think it was God. I'm so grateful, you know. And it just multiplies. So I just really do believe that you guys have the same energy where when there's a will, there's a way, and you try your best to not sit in that sad energy, okay? You call your spirit home. Some of you guys are very like reflective, and people really like the fact that you're reflective. You look at the things in your life and you're like, what can I improve? How can I get out of this situation? What is this teaching me? And you guys really, really sit on faith, and it really does work out for you. It's just a matter of timing. Like some people say, okay, if you can do this, if you can make this happen in your life, then do it at the click of my fingers. But it's just like, I don't have a say on when this happens. All I know is I believe that it will. And it usually does. It takes time, but it usually does, you know? So we can't really tell the timings of everything. Some things we can, some things we can't. But you guys have this unwavering faith. And I think people really admire that about you. Because maybe they lack that. Like maybe it's easier to think negative, especially when things are negative, you know? But you guys choose to rise above it. And we have change. So you guys embrace those changes. You guys could have Scorpio in your chart, okay? People love that about you. So I'm going to move on to, well, yeah, people see you as an inspiration as well. And people usually reference you in conversation when they're talking about who changed their life around and what they want to be like, okay? I'm going to move on to the last pile because I do hear my children waking up and I'm doing this early in the morning. Yeah, 1 hour, 1 minute and 33 seconds. Yeesh. We have Sensational, may your sensitivity be your strength. We have 41, look forward. 4 is a number of stability, security, and 1 is a number of beginnings and new portals. Add those bad boys together, you get 5, which is again, change. Okay, this is giving nomad vibes. Okay, you guys could have Sagittarius in your chart. We have the antelope and the wheat, which is nourishment, Capricorn-esque, Empress-esque, Taurus-esque. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have the Devil card, which is Capricorn energy, Earth energy. And then we have Aries energy with the Emperor, which is fire energy. And then we have SEX. And then we have Truth. Yeah, let me move this here. Yeah. Ooh, pile 7. Sensational. People like the fact that you're very in touch with your feminine side, regardless of your gender, whether you're a man or a woman. People like the fact that you are not afraid to be sensitive. You're not afraid to be vulnerable. You're not afraid to communicate your needs to people. And I'm getting you, some of you weren't always like this. But for others of you may not be vulnerable. But this is sensitivity regarding being an empath. You guys could be very good at picking up on people's emotions, picking up. You're very, what's the word? Emotionally or socially. I think it's more so emotionally intelligent. You guys are very good at reading the room and picking up on things, social cues. You understand people, but you also feel a lot. But for others of you, this is you just being vulnerable and in touch with your feminine side. People like the fact that you're a very lovable person. We have the Ace of Cups. You're very emotive, okay? You're very expressive. And you're not afraid to let people know that you love them. You're very emotionally sound. And I'm learning as an adult that being emotionally intelligent is rare. Not everyone is. I thought everyone was, okay? But you're very good at getting through to people. You make people want to be vulnerable because you're vulnerable with them. And if you're not vulnerable, you make people want to be vulnerable with you because they know that you understand them, you get them. You're very good at reading people and understanding people. It's almost like you take on board their emotions, you feel their feelings. So again, it's giving empath. You guys did choose number 7, which is a number of learning anyway. So you guys like to learn about people, and you don't really forget what you've remembered, okay? I'm also getting like, you guys could be good, like very good with the niche. Now, I don't know if this is me being on the spectrum or anything, but I have this thing where I'm good at remembering people's birthdays. Like, all you have to do is tell me your birthday once and I'll remember it for the rest of my life, no matter how many people, and I don't know why. And every year when someone's birthday comes up, I'm like, I message them, even if I haven't talked to them in years or whatever, or if I haven't talked to them in a while, I'm like, happy birthday. They're like, I didn't even post anything to do with my birthday. How did you remember? And I'm like, I don't know. You told me one time and it just stuck. So you guys could have that same energy, okay? People like the fact that you're very good at really, really taking charge of your life. With the Emperor card, you're someone who you take no BS. People like your assertive nature. You could be Aries, okay? You don't take BS from anyone, and people respect that. People respect you. You guys could also be either well established or you're working to be well established, and people are rooting for you. People like how blunt you can be. We have the Devil card, so people really, okay, first of all, people like your work ethic, but even so, even if it's not to do with work ethic, people find you very smexy. I can't say the word, I don't know, because I don't want to get demonetized, but people find you very attractive. They want to with you, okay? They want to this word with you, you know? I don't know. Some of you have a perfect balance between masculinity and femininity, and people just find that hot. I will not be surprised, Pal 7, if you attract both genders, okay? And I can relate to that because I swing both ways. And with me, I feel like it makes me feel like, you like me? Like, I get gassed, okay? But, you know, enough about me. You guys are very smexy, and you make people want to do things to you, okay? But people like the fact that you have this energy about you, that you understand people. You're well-rounded as a person. Like, you're emotionally intelligent, but you also know when to be upfront with people, honest with people. You hold people accountable. You also know how to take charge of a room. Like, you guys know how to sit and listen and let people lead, but you also know when to do the leading. Like, you know when to be assertive, but you also know when to allow yourself to just receive and just watch and observe. People like that duality to you. People also like the fact that you are always ready to move forward in life, okay? You're always ready for a change. You're not afraid to change your finances, your stability, where you live, where you say, pace your words, girl. I was about to say, you're not afraid to change where you live or your location, but it sounded like location. Yeah, you guys could be immigrants, or you're not afraid to immigrate to another place of origin. It doesn't have to be a country, it could even be a city. Like, if something's not working out for you, you embrace that change. You're like, okay, I'm packing up and I'm moving. Or if it's a job where you feel like you're not getting paid enough or respected, you're not afraid to change jobs. Or if a relationship where it's not being reciprocal, you're not afraid to end the relationship. People feel like you're always open to new, like, if your soul is craving something new, you're going to go for something new. And people love that energy about you because they low-key want to be that way. But as human beings, sometimes we like to stick to what is comfortable for us. And I get it, okay? We have nourishment. You have very energizing energy. You have this abundant energy about you. It's giving Empress like kind of vibes, or Emperor kind of vibes, where like when someone's in your space, they feel like they get high off of your energy. That by you, they're successful by proxy. Like, they feel like maybe it's something you do that makes people feel empowered, and it makes people want to like go home and like start themselves up. Like, I think it's because you pour into other people, you invest into people emotionally, and you get emotionally invested into helping others, loving others, being there for others, speaking good words into others. You guys could have a knack for understanding people and just being emotionally considerate of other people. But it's because you're an empath. It's like you have this beautiful duality to you where even though there's water here, I'm getting the fire element. It's like, and earth. It's like in fact, you're just giving all elements. It's like you have this side to you that's very caring and and loving and understanding, but you also could be very charismatic and very charming and very like, I'm going to tell you how it is. You know, I'm going to let you know what time it is, because you give people even, what's the word I'm looking for? Tough love whenever you feel like they need it, but you also know how to cut back if you feel like, no, this is not how I'm going to handle this. I need to handle this with tact. Like, you know when to say what and who to say what to, based upon understanding the person you're conversing with. And people feel really understood by you. But people are very drawn to you. You have a very magnetic personality. And even though there's no Scorpio cards here, I'm getting that vibe as well. People are very drawn to you. But I'm getting like, whenever you need to keep a guard up, you will, because you feel like, okay, I don't want people to get too close to me, because I don't want people to then depend and obsess over me. Like, you keep a boundary up, but it's also professional. It's giving professionalism, okay? If you're in a relationship, someone flirts with you, you know how to cut the cord and be like, hey, listen, let's keep this strictly business. I'm not going to allow you to overstep this boundary because I'm taken. And even if you're not taken, like, you know how to set a boundary. You don't allow anyone to go past that, okay? You empower people to help themselves. This reminds me of Power 5. But people always know that you're the truth. If someone wants to come for you for advice, you're going to tell them the truth. You're not going to lie to make them feel good. But again, people feel very energized, very nourished by your energy. Also, people like the fact that you're somebody who you're not afraid to give to others. Like, say, for example, if someone needs money, you're not afraid to lend your money. You're like, here you go. And you're not really concerned about whether they pay you back. You're just like, well, you needed it way more than I do, because you guys are naturally abundant. And it doesn't have to mean that you guys are rich, but it's like, even if you give money away, you're not as worried because you just wanted to help someone. And then somehow it just finds a way of coming back to you. So it's like, you don't even care if someone paid you back, because you can generate money. So it's like, it's fine. It's not like I'm never going to run out, you know, and it's not coming from a place of being rich unless you guys are business owners, which you guys have the potential to be if you wanted to. Okay. But people like the fact that you have instincts and you follow your instincts, especially if you're a man. Like, I find that, in my personal opinion, quite rare. Not many men follow their intuition. So when I do find men that do, I'm genuinely impressed. I'm like, oh, that's kind of hot, you know. A man who's in touch with his masculine and feminine side, like, that's hot, you know. But if you're a woman, it's the same. It's like, you know when to wear the pants, you know when to like be in that masculine energy, but you also know how to let yourself go and be all feminine and let flow and receive. Like, you are in perfect harmony with yourself, and people really love that about you. They will never tell you, because I low-key feel like you intimidate people. You intimidate people. You make people feel a little bit like small unintentionally. Like, whatever you got going on in your life, like, you make people feel like they're not doing enough. But then I'm also getting people get intimidated by you because they find you really hot. They find you really alluring, and they don't know how to let you know that, like, they get tongue-tied, okay? But that's what I'm getting. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I thought I'd do a very uplifting reading. I haven't done something like this in a while, but take care. Bye.